Wow. Because in Korea, they have like homogeneous community, like they all look alike, but then we look different from them.
Exactly. That's why we're Uyghurs.
Yeah, we are Uyghurs. So have you faced any form of like direct form of racism here?
Okay. I think, first of all, racism is a very, very tricky topic, and I'm going to be direct with you. Racism is everywhere.
Yeah.
If somebody who is not black comes to Africa, we also look at them, which even though we know it's wrong, we're like, true. Oh my God, you're so white. What happened to you? Are you not eating pepper? You know,
what is pepper?
Chili.
Pepper, you mean?
Yeah.
So you become black because of paper?
Yeah.
Is it true?
Sometimes no, it's not true. You know, we just like to exaggerate things. Like if you eat more chili, you get more darker.
Okay, I'll stop eating.
Which is wrong.
I'll stop eating that.
So racism is everywhere. Discrimination is everywhere. That's why till today we're still talking about it. Yeah. But for Korea, I think their racism is as a result of lack of information.
That's true.
Asia is so far from Africa. So the information that Asians have about Africa might be wrong. And the information that Africa has about Asians might also be wrong. Yeah. Because by the time the information gets to Africa, there are so many dilutions that have happened. Yeah. People have added their own wrong things, and things get really, really scary. But for Koreans, I think it's ignorance. They don't know anything about being black, and they don't yes, because the kind of community that they are, like you said, homogeneous. They are just one way. They believe exactly what they know and they stick to it, you know. So for Koreans, the kind of discrimination I get from them, I use it as an opportunity to lecture them. Oh yeah. Whoa. Yeah. This happened when I first arrived. I went to one of the mats, and one kid walked up to me and touched my skin. I was like, oh my God, it's not stained. Like, that's what she meant. Like, she thought when she touches me, she's going to get like black stain on her hand. I was so furious, Dibia. I was so angry. But she was a little girl. So what I did was, you know how protective the parents are. As soon as she did that, our mom came and was apologizing that she's sorry, she's so sorry. She knew that she didn't understand much, but this was wrong and everything. She wanted to like scold her, and I was like, no, I think you need to. You know? Yeah, she was so wrong. But that's as a result of what she has heard or what she has seen people say.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think I told the mom that the way that I could, because she wasn't speaking good English, that's another problem. How do you communicate when you don't understand each other? So I tried to tell her that, why don't you tell her the right thing? Tell her people that are black are not like when
everyone is human.
Yeah, no, it's not even. No, it's not like she doesn't see me as human. She sees me as a different kind of human. Yeah. So I think the major problem with Koreans are information and ignorance. They are ignorant of any other thing except things that are really related to them, like food or or stuff like that. So I think there are so many cases of discrimination that I've heard about. There are some that are really sad and shouldn't even be talked about again in this century. There are so many companies that have failed to take in black people because they are black and they are likened to poverty-stricken people. It's not right. And we will continue to say that until people listen. So yeah, that's just what I would say about racism, that people should just try to read up about other people. We should not just concern ourselves with ourselves alone. We can't live in the world alone. We can't be alone. We have to live with other people, either we like it or not. So the earlier we accept that and we learn about those people that we're supposed to live with, the better for all of us.
I think they believe like it's a kind of pond, and they know only the thing available there. Like they don't know what's outside the pond.
Exactly. They are just concerned about themselves alone, which is not totally great and it's not totally bad. But in a society where we are all really intertwined, we have to be concerned about other people.
That's
as
true.
well.
After all, everyone is human being, and we all bleed red.
Here, so why not if not?
So we met for the first time and we are directly talking here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay, Toiba, now let's switch on to how the new foreign student can directly find the accommodation here in Korea. like for us as a GKS scholar, in the first year of language year, we just have to stay in the dormitory because we don't have that topic level 3.
Yeah.
But then after the end of the language program, after we get that language score, then we can stay outside.
Okay.
So after we come out of the
dormitory accommodation free for you guys?
No, it's not free.
Okay,
we have
I
to
thought
pay
it's
from
free.
our
I
stipend.
just applied for KGSP. Oh my God.
No, we have to pay from our that 1 million stipend.
Okay.
So for you, like you directly came to stay in the outside,
apartment,
right?
Yeah.
So can you explain our viewers about how it can be, how they can get the accommodation, or if they would like to stay in the dome, how does the process work?
Okay.
Explain in detail.
I would explain as much as I know.
I will be your audience here now.
As much as I know, from my country, there was a time when the Office of International Affairs sent email to us with price list of various accommodation options in the school. So at that point of applying for visa, you can also start applying for accommodation with the school because, as you know, it's first come, first serve.
Yeah, that's
so they
true.
always tell you to apply in advance before the semester starts, because by the time the semester starts, the accommodation would have been full. Will be full. It will be filled up. So basically there are so many categories, and I think the cheapest is 500 and something thousand.
Yeah, for 4 months,
for
right?
for 1 months. Semester.
4 months. Like,
okay, 4 months,
and
excluding the vacation.
Yeah,
okay.
2 months we have to pay again.
Okay, then so yeah, the accommodation has so many different options. There are some where you get the room and then you get access to the cafeteria. And there are some where you don't have to go to the cafeteria, but you just pay for the room. And there are some where you live with another roommate, and there are some where you live alone. But for us, because there is a community here, what usually happens is when we have a Nigerian coming, they usually get in contact with the Nigerian Student Association in our university. So there is a committee for admissions.
Wow.
So the committee usually it's really nice, the job that people are really doing for us here. We're so happy with you guys. Thank you so much for all your help. So what they do is they look around for accommodations that house owners advertise, and then they talk to the house owner that okay, they have someone coming to Korea from their country. Yes, and then they sign contracts on their behalf.
Wow.
So by the time you come to Korea, you just move into the apartment and you set it up the way you want.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's so good. And normally people just send their contract pujungum, the contract agreement fee, and then they send their first rent from Nigeria in Korean won, and then this committee set everything up. So when you come, they just give you the key to your house, they give you your contract, and they give you your address, and then you move in.
So, but that's if you have community, it's so easy.
Yeah.
But then, if a foreign student have to come and find himself, how does it work?
Okay, I don't think it's possible to get it from your country, but if you are coming, then it will be better to get dormitory in that form. Then you can just target dormitory for the first semester, and within that 4 months that you paid for, you start looking for apartments. So once you get an apartment, this is how people do it. There are so many ways, but number one is that you walk around, maybe on your street, like the university area. We have the north gate, we have the west gate, and we have the main gate. So you can just take different days to walk around, take a walk. You look around at advertisement. They usually paste
in the house doors.
Around the house doors. Like, okay, this house is going for this amount per month. You pay this for water rate. You pay this for the contract. And then when you look around and you like the place, after talking to the house owner, you just reach an agreement, and then you target the time that you will move away from the dormitory and you move into the apartment. That's one way. The second way is that you go through Budongsan, yes, the agents, the house agents, the real estate agents. They look for accommodations and they list them. So when you go to their offices, they usually have their own fee, maybe 50,000. Then you pay them, and then they tell you the options that are available, and you look at the pictures. They usually have pictures. You look at the pictures. If you are okay with it, then you pay and then sign the contract, and then they tell you where it is. They take you there, and then you see that you have an accommodation. Another way is to use the friend of friend method. You tell your friends, if they are really popular people or if they know other people, you can tell them, hey, I'm looking for accommodation after staying in the dormitory. Maybe after settling down in the first month, then you start telling people, if you see any accommodation while working, please take a picture and tell me the place. I will go there and check it. So like I said, there are so many ways, but those are the 3 basic ones that I know that foreigners can easily get accommodation, which is why it's important to make friends
and community.
Yes, and a community. Sometimes it's hard to form a community, or your community is based elsewhere. Most of the community organizations are in Seoul.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, so down here in the south, it's hard for some country to form community because of numbers.
Yeah,
we have the
true.
advantage of number in Gyeongbuk National University. I think that's why it's easy for us to get ourselves together. So yeah, the importance of community cannot be overemphasized, but then it's not always there. So you just work with what you have. If you have friends, you work with that. If you don't, you start working, you start looking around for accommodation. But all in all, I think it's not that very hard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, depending on the season too, you may not get some apartment.
Yeah, that's true.
In winter, nobody wants to move out in winter. It's too cold. But in spring, when students are graduating in February, there are usually new apartments. And in August, when people are graduating, there's also availability of apartments. So yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, I also hope that helps, because there are many people asking me
about accommodation.
Yeah, and also some of them are asking like, this stipend is enough or not, and things
Oh
like
my God,
that.
please don't get me started on stipend.
Yeah,
It's not enough. Money is never enough. I want more. I want more money. It's never enough. But we are thankful because at least by studying, we're also getting paid. It's not the same in other countries, in other type of scholarships. So it's interesting because the stipend is designed to only be enough for you to live.
Yeah.
You will not die here. You will
study.
eat, you will study, you will live in a comfortable place, but you may not have savings.
That's true.
So yeah, everybody's always complaining that it's not enough. But deep down, we know we should be grateful because in most of our countries, thanks to Korean government, thanks to the university, I'm so appreciative of the Gyeongbuk National University. So yeah, thank you very much. We are very grateful. So yeah, I still love that kind of scholarship.
Yeah, you still love it.
I love it
because you are getting it.
Yes, I'm getting it, and I'm getting paid. I'm living well. I'm comfortable. Yeah, I'm PhD now. So yeah.
Wow.
And
There are so much to be grateful for.
I got 100% tuition waiver this semester.
Wow.
Yeah, for my first doctorate semester.
Again.
Thank you.
So many congratulations.
I
When
know.
is the treat?
I don't know. Maybe
today?
No, not today. I have no money now. This is January what? This is January what? This is like mid-January. Money has finished. But you know, you are welcome to come to my graduation next month. So yeah, maybe we'll celebrate something then.
Together.
Yes, we will. Definitely. I can't wait.
Deal.
Thank you.
And then, so at the end of the day, what do you want to say in the video? Anything remaining that you would like to say, but I did not ask you, or anything like in your mind? To the graduate student.
Yes, I have. So foreigners usually complain that there are very little things for them to do in Korea, which is not really wrong, because now to work even as a part-timer, you need to have some language Korean proficiency. You need permissions from lab,
hours,
from
right?
yes. It's not up to 20, I think, or maybe 24 per week. So it's kind of limited. So I advise people to build their social media network, to build their followers, and then they should start applying for supporters activities and reviewing activity, where you get, in reviewing activity, you get products to use and to talk about on your social media. Sometimes they pay for that, and sometimes the payment is the product. But for supporter activity, there are so many organizations online that will message you and tell you, oh, we love the kind of content you post. I get that a lot. Please, we want you to come here. We want you to do this. We want you to travel to this place and visit these places. We'll give you free tickets. We'll buy you food. We'll give you accommodation. Sometimes it's for 2 days. Sometimes for 3 days. Sometimes it's a one-day trip.
Everything is fully paid,
Everything is
right?
paid for. All you need to do is to make content and post, and then you submit the link to them. So I ask people to work on this, and because we are students, our time is not our time. Our time is subjected to our advisor. So sometimes we don't have time to actually do part-time job, and even the advisors might not permit you to go and do part-time jobs if you have so many things to do in the lab. So, but if you can make content from the comfort of your home or from your lab or from a cafe, why not? That's even fun, right? So yeah, I think that's a good way to actually get some money, and I have so many experience in that field. If you have any question, just let me know. I'm an expert in that field. If you have any questions, and if you follow me, I always share opportunities like this on my story.
So kind-hearted, down to earth.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that. But I'm here, so if you have questions, let me know. I will also be in the comment section to reply to the comments.
She has spaces on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
In certain intervals.
Sometimes, yes, I talk about my experience too. I bring other people to come and talk about the experience. DBI has been a darling. She's always tuning in, and thank you for everything that you do. It's really nice to have you in my corner. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
So today in this section of the video, we'll be talking about adaptation in Korea.
Okay, that's a very interesting question.
Still like this.
Okay. Do you feel okay?
No, I think in the video I look strange in the beginning.
Oh, really?
Like I was turning this side wholly. But
Ooh, me too. I was just like,
it's okay.
Okay, so adapting to Korean life is actually pretty pretty funny because there are so many differences between Korea and Africa or my country. Definitely, because this is not our country. But I think I should point out here that I like the work culture of Koreans. Pali pali, no time to waste. Pali pali means fast. So everything should be like fast. You should do everything on time, no procrastination. You have to deliver some things, especially in graduate school. There are always assignments and there are always lab works. There are so many experiments that you have to do in your case. In my case, there are so many like
studies and
studies, textbooks to read. You give lab meeting every week, so you can't even say you won't study. There's no way to go about it. So adapting to Korea life, first of all, I had some challenges with the weather because of my health status. I have problems with cold area, so Korea is cold, especially in spring, winter, except summer. Every other time it's cold, so I had to like stick to long sleeve, and I don't like long sleeve. I had to wear long sleeve all the time. I had to protect my body by wearing many layers, and it's not something that I really enjoy, so I had no choice. In Africa, we only have Amatan, we have hot hair sometimes too, but it's not always this serious. I mean, we go low here up to minus. There's no minus weather in my country. So yeah, that was a challenge on its own. Again, when it comes to food, oh my god, Koreans like garlic. Yeah, I'm a Muslim, I can't eat pork. So pork is everywhere. At the time I had to become a vegetarian. Whenever I go out, do you have vegetarian menu? I'm sorry, I don't eat pork. And then they say, you're vegetarian? And then they look at you with pity, like, oh, how do you enjoy life? What do you eat as a vegetarian? Well, I just like, it's one of the things that you have to sacrifice. So the food has been a challenge from day one. But these days, I see many options, other options, like so many species of fish. So I like their smoked fish, the barbecue fish, the grilled fish. It's really delicious. And then there are some soups that have tofu. Yeah, we have something like tofu in my country. We call it beske. It's cheese.
We also have that.
Really?
We call it paneer.
Oh, nice. So it's delicious. I eat that almost every time I go to a Korean restaurant
tofu is
now.
Made from the soybean?
Yes, soybean.
But like in our case, it's from milk.
Ooh, that's more delicious, right? Yeah, ours is also made from the soybean back at home. And another difference is the use of chili. Koreans don't really eat chili except you ask. And then they have to ask you the level of spice that you want. Who asks you? Who asks you for that? They ask you. At first, when I got asked that question, I was like, Who asked that question? Just put chili, please. Put something. I just want to feel something in my mouth. But in my country, it's normal for you to eat chili every time. Nobody will ask you what level you want or something like that, you know. So when in Korea, it was a shock to me. I had to deal with the type of food that I eat and everything like that. Okay, so the food culture is actually very different. Then so many people ask me on my social media, how do you cope with the food? I just tell them I have no choice, so I try. And sometimes when I go to Seoul, I find African restaurants.
Wow, that's
and I eat there. Yes, and sometimes I buy spices and bring it back to Daegu and make food. These days there have been so many different options of catfish, of stockfish. People in Nigeria understand what I'm saying when I'm listing these things. There is egusi, there is ogbono. They are really delicious Nigerian food, and now we can eat. I even eat wheat now. Wheat I get from our local online shopping mart, which is really great thing. So yeah, it's been really manageable these days, but it was a struggle when I first came. Those are the ones that I can actually say right now. And then there's another thing about culture shock. Dressing, the mood of dressing in Korea is totally different. It's normal here to wear oversized clothes, but in Nigeria, if you wear oversized clothes, later somebody gave it to you, or you bought the bigger size at a cheaper price. So here it's a fashion trend, which I now really like, because it's like so free. You wear free things. I like baggy jeans. I like big tops and everything. But the only thing that Koreans have never gotten used to is me covering my head all the time. They're always like, are you sure your head is Mori Anapuya? Your head is not hurting? Are you sure? You tie this every time. Are you sure? And then there was a time I tied a white scarf, and the Korean was asking, did you have an accident? You know, white like bandages, and they're like, oh my god, you are tying this bandage, are you okay? Did you have an accident with your hair? I was like, oh my god, how do I explain this to you guys? So yeah, there are so many there's a long list of shocks, but these are the ones that I can remember right now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining them, and hope like it will be useful to the people
I hope so.
wishing to come to Korea.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So now let's talk about
What? What do you want to talk about? Do you enjoy studying here?
okay. I enjoy making videos.
Oh, a YouTuber.
I think like the theoretical things that we study here are not so interesting because all of them are in Korean.
Yeah.
And like we have to ask, if we don't understand, we have to ask them in every time, and then like I think for the theoretical part study, they don't take it serious here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be able to apply what you learn.
Yeah.
That's when you get respected.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Toiba, for coming to my channel and sharing all your experiences here. And I hope to see your channel grow and become big, like more bigger than your Twitter.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's a prayer, right?
Yeah, that's a prayer. And like I have been reading my religious book, so whatever I say may come true soon.
Amen.
So yeah.
Thank you so much for your kind wishes.
And also all the best with your PhD degree. Hope to see you soon as Dr. Toiba soon.
Amen. That's another prayer. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for the time. Thank you for having me around, and I had fun doing this. You guys can go ahead and ask me questions in the comment section. I will be there to read through and to also answer you. You can also follow me on my social media pages and send me messages.
All of those links will be there in the description section.
Okay,
below.
please check it. Please connect with me everywhere. I would answer you.
Till the next video, stay safe, stay productive, and thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.